Hi everybody, today I'm going to design these flip-flops, and this is the design I'm going to do on the flip-flops. So to start this project, you need a pair of brand new flip-flops. You need some glue, either E6000 or Gorilla Glue, or this kind of glue. I bought this one in the dollar store, but I haven't tried it yet. So any strong glue you could use. Then you need some pliers, B pliers, a pair of scissors. You need some diamond wrap. They all come in different colors in the dollar store. Diamond wrap, or you could also get it in Walmart, which is called bling ribbon, and it comes in a big roll. You also need a ruler. You need a clamp. I might use it in case I need it. Then you need some fishing wire or B wire, and then you need a needle, number 7 or 8 or 6. Make sure it's strong enough. And I guess a needle holder. And you also need, to make the design, I made this cross, and I made it out of the paper convents that I'll show you in another video, but I glued it on, and you could buy that in Walmart or any craft store. And I glued the gemstones onto it with the E6000 overnight, and then I cut it. So you need, for this project also, you need a long size 72 cm diamond wrap, and that's to put on the side. Then you need one long one for the front, and then you need a short one for the middle. And then I got this chain. You could get it any kind of chain, but I got this chain in the dollar store to put in over here. Alright, and then I have this little stone that I'm going to put in the bottom. Sorry about that. Okay, let us start. First thing we have to do is take the strap out from the back with the pliers. Let's remove, and these are size 7.5, these sandals. Okay. Now this one is going to be a different style compared to the other ones that I have made. So you have to really watch what I do. Okay? You see how it's this way and this way. And we're going to cut, I usually cut the long one and leave the short one. This is the long one, and this is the short one. So I'm gonna cut the long one over here. Alright, let's put the flip-flop to the side, and you take your scissors, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to cut it right between the, like this. Remember, you cut the long one, not the short one. Alright, this is the short one. And this is the one that's going to be here. Right here. So you have to measure real good here, because everybody's feet shoe size is different. So here, this is the size 7. I measure a 7 here. A 7. Okay, 7 cm. So you could do it a 6 cm, but don't go any higher than 7 or 6, because if you go to 8 and 9, this is going to be real tight. You ain't gonna have enough room here. Okay, so make sure that this side is short, either 6 or 5 or 4 or 7. Mine is a 7. So I'm going to take the ruler and take the short one. The short one. And I'm going to measure 7. Right there. That's where I'm going to cut. From the bottom to the 7, I'm going to cut it right there. As you can see, it's a 7. All right. Over here, in this little corner, be careful not to cut too much, but we're going to cut just a little bit, but it don't have to stick out. And you see how it's sticking up in the top? We're going to cut that side also. There we go. So you could have it nice and smooth. Don't cut too much, because it'll be just enough to be flat. Nice and smooth and flat. You could shape it up. Shape that area. Just a little bit at a time, but you could get it right. There we go, nice and smooth. All right, now you're going to take the other piece that you had cut from the short side, and we're going to connect that to it. But I'm going to cut this straight because it's not even. So I'm going to make it even. A straight line, make sure it's even, straight. Now if your feet is petite, you could just take the strap and you could measure them around your feet to make sure that it fits, it's not too big. Okay, because everyone's feet is different sizes. Now we're going to take this and we're going to sew it. Okay. All right. Now we're going to sew the piece together. And there's different ways you could sew this. You could sew it by putting both sides like this and going around and around the circle of it and then add it together, or you could sew it through one and then coming out through there and then going in through the middle. That's the hard way. So I'm going to do it the easy way for those who are beginners. Take your needle and thread, and I'm going to do it this way because it's very easy. And you start from the middle. You could just take one with your pliers. And I started in this side because it's going to be covered up. The knot of the thread is going to be covered up, so they won't be able to see it. So then you take the other side and you go in the middle, push it, and push it with the pliers gently. And make sure they line up the same material. Okay. You could continue going like that, going around through. Go again. This time I'm going to go side on the. This time I'm going over here on this side. I did the middle. Now I'm going to go on the side. As you can see. And then go to the other side. Same of the other side. Make sure it's tight, but make sure your wire don't break while you tighten it. Make sure your wire don't break. So it should look like this, and you continue going both sides, on, over, under until it's nice and tight, like a couple of laps. Okay. Alright, I finished sewing it. I'm done sewing it, and this is the way it looks. And now on the back side you're going to make a knot, which I already did one, but you could make another knot just to secure it. And you take and you go. You could do it one time around the thread or two times. Oops, sorry about that. You could take when you go on the knot, for one time around it or two time around to knot it. Nice and secured and tight. And then we could go, if you want to, you could do this, or you could just cut it right there. But I'm gonna go across the strap with the needle. And this part is kind of hard because you have to push hard with the, you have to put your fingers right there on the strap and then push the needle in without getting poked. There we go. And it should look like this. It's right through. You could do this one time, two times, or three times. It doesn't really matter how many times. You could do it one time, it still will hold, or you could do it just two times. But I'm just going to do it two times only, not one. So I'm going to do it again. There we go. Push it in. And then pull it out. Okay, and now I'm going to cut it right here. This is where I'm going to cut. Alright. Now I'm going to put the other piece in the middle. But to put the other piece in the middle, for it could be lined up straight, you take your strap and make sure they're even. Make sure they're even. And you hold it there. And you bend the top. You could mark it with a pen right there. And this is where you're going to sew that area right there. Okay. So that's what you're going to sew. All right, now you get your needle and you get ready to sew it. All right, got my needle ready, and gonna measure again. And then the top, what I do, instead of marking it, I'm just gonna go right in the middle with my needle. And this is how you'll know where's the needle. Where's the middle? There we go. And that's the middle. Okay. There we go. Now you take your other strap and we're going to sew it. Alright, I'm going to sew that piece together like this. You could go like this, you could put it together like this to find the middle, sorry about that, the middle. So since that's already in the middle, I'm going to find the middle on here. We're going to put the needle right through it. Here we go. And there I go. So you sew it like this, and then you keep sewing in all around with the needle and thread. I'll do a couple of laps. You go again. Go on the other side. Here we go. Make sure that the thread don't get tangled with the strap, because it happens. Alright, here we go. Pull gently. There we go. Go back in through the other strap. Alright, now you make sure you sew each corners also together, the middle and each corner on both sides going around. Alright, finish it up. Alright, I finished sewing it, and it should look like this. This is the way it should look like. Now I'm going to measure the strap on the top. That way you know how long it should be. Mine should be like 21 or 22. Yep, 21 it is. It's 21 cm. Okay, that's how long mine is going to be. If you want yours to be that long, you could, but it's because my flip-flops are 7 to 8 size on shoe size. All right, now I'm going to sew the diamond wrap with the, I'm not going to sew it, sorry, I'm going to wrap it around with a wire. Okay, and that's next. To do this, You take your diamond wrap and you measure, well, not measure, but make sure it's the same size of the level. So from there to there. So I'm going to start right here first. I'm going to take the wire, the fishing wire, and I'm going to take the beginning of it, a long little piece in the beginning of it, and I'm going to put it right in the middle between the diamond wrap, and I'm going to hold it with my thumb like this. See? Just like this. Now I'm going to take the wire and the first line right here, I'm going to wrap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you hold it tight. Now you go back to the next line of the diamond wrap. Oops, mine's got loose. I have to do it again because it just got loose. So take the wire and you line it up right between the middle and hold it. Hold it there with your thumb. Then take the other side of the wire and you wrap it 3 times or 4 times. So I'm going to do 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't let it go because then it'll get loose. Oops, sorry about that. I wrapped it around 4 times. Don't let it go because it will get loose. Okay? And go to the next line. Do 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you do it tight. Hold it tight. Now you go to the next one. You go to the next one, which is right there, and you go 1, 2, 3. Every time you go down to the next line, go to the next one, which is going to be right here. 1, 2, and 3. Then you go back down to the next one. 1, 2, 3. Then you go to the next one. You follow along the pattern. 3. You keep going that way 3 times to the next one. This is the next one. So you keep going to the next one and the next one. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. Jeez, my stupid glasses. Now you go down to the next one. And if you lost place, you just lift it up to see where you're at. Okay. We're going to do this one. 1, 2, 3. Got to do this very patient and slow. You go to the next one. Alright, the next one is this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go to the next one. 1, 2, and 3. Now you continue doing this all the way straight down to the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna finish it from here. All right. Okay, when you get to the middle part, right here, I'm in the middle part, so this is what I'm going to do. I want to show you this part. I'm getting there to the middle part, but I'm not there yet. 2, 3. What I'm going to do when I'm in the middle part, on this one, you continue going that way. Then when you get to this one, you go that way. Okay, I'm gonna be on this one right here. So I'm gonna continue going this way. Two and three. Now I'm going to go on this one over here, and I'm going to go that way. So from here, I'm going to go this way. So you see what I just did? Do it again. I'm going to go this one. I'm going to go up this way. Now that I went from here to here 3 times, now you go back this way. And here. Go here and you go this way. So you go in the middle, and I went across here. Now I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to go across. Okay, so continue going to the next side. Oops. Okay, so continue going up to the next one, and then continue just going. Follow along. 1, 2. Once that you cross this, continue going this way. Alright, so you go to the next road, and that's going to be this one right here. You go 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to finish doing the rest. Okay. All right. I got to the end, and I went in here. Now that I'm in the end, go around 3 times. 3 times. Then you take your clamp and you hold it, and then at the end of the wire you put a needle, your needle. Alright, you take your clamp and you take the wire and you put a needle on the end of the wire, and then on the back this is where we're going to, on the back we're going to tie it. Went through the back, go to the front. Now we're going to go back in And we're going to go up here in the lace, on the wire, so we can make a knot between it. Gonna make a knot here. Make sure it don't get tangled. All right, keep my finger in there. So we're gonna make a knot, go around it 2 times or 3 times, doesn't matter. Here we go. And we're gonna make a knot in here. There we go. You could leave it like that and go back inside again or across to tie it. Here we go. Just like that. Go one more time, because we always have to end it in the back, not in the front. Nice and tight. And like I said, I'll go across like this. Go across with your needle. Hold it there. And hold your thumb there. And push the needle in. Make sure it's right inside the strap, in the middle of the strap. Here we go. Like this. Then pull it. This time I'm only going to do 1 because I made 2 knots already. And then cut it. Tighten it up. Pull it tight, and we're going to cut that area. There we go. And that is done. This is how it should look. And now I'm going to do the middle part with 3 diamonds. So we're going to do the middle again, and up to here. But I'll leave it long, and then when I get there I'll cut it. And this, you don't have to sew. You go again with the wire as we did over here. You take the wire and you go across and you continue going. I'll just do a little bit to show you. Okay, we take the wire, no needle, and we're going to place it in the middle, just a piece of it, like this. Then we're going to go around the first line right there. Hold it tight, and we're going to go three times. 1, 2, okay, sorry about that, and 3. Make sure that's nice and tight. Alright, that's the first, and you go to the next one. The next one is this one. And that other wire, you keep holding on to it as you're going down. So now we're going to go to the next one right here. You go 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now you continue doing this, going all the way down. Keep going all the way down. Okay. I got to the bottom, and now I clamped it. But before I put the needle in, I'm gonna cut that extra piece that I don't need. See? I'm gonna cut this piece right up to there. Right there. On the last one, you go 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And you take your clamp you clamp it, and you get the needle, and you take the wire from that, and you get a needle. Take needle, but we could sew it through inside and out. The needle, move the clamp out of the way, and we're going to take the needle and going back on the back. Take the needle like this, and we're going to go, and we're going to go from the back and push the needle in like this and pull it. Make sure your needle don't get tangled up with the strap, because it happens to me a lot. Okay, so now we have that secure, so it won't come out. This is how it should look. Alright, go a couple times in and out, in and out, and then make a knot, and then cut it. Take from the back and tie it also before you go in again. I'm going to tie it up. 1, 2, and 3. Make a knot out of it. There we go. To be nice and tight. Then I go back inside again. Go. Sorry about that. Again, last one, go through. And then we go across like that. Then we just cut it. Sorry about that. It's not quite inside, so I have to take it out a couple times because it's not really inside the strap, and I want it in the strap, in the middle of the strap. I want it Here we go. Because then I know it'll stay secure. There we go. Alright. Now we cut it. Take it and cut it. And that is done. This is the way it's supposed to look. Straighten it out. Line it up. Make sure that everything is lined up on the bottom. And this is the way it should look. Next, I'm going to put is the cross. I'm going to sew the cross just like I have it here. And then after the cross, I'll add the beads. I like to add first the middle part because you don't know how much you need for the size. Because I'm not going to put it inside. I'm going to put it next to it. Okay. So now I'm going to sew the cross. I got the needle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here first with the needle. And go from the back. And then you go back in. Back in the middle. Right in the middle. Now you have it like that, nice and secure. So you take your cross, and we're going to do the middle part of the cross. I'm going to take the cross, and in these we have holes here. If you can see the holes in the bottom, they come with holes on each gem. So what I'm going to do first, before I get to that hole, I'm going to go between it like this, just like that. Like that, before I get to the hole. Make sure the gem is lined up with this. Okay, so I sew between it, and then I'm going to sew back into the strap. On the side of it. I'm sewing right on this side. Like that. Because I want to secure it first. Nice and tight. There we go. See? It's nice and tight. Now I'm going to go, oops, sorry about that. I'm going to go right on the bottom hole right here with the needle. I could go here or on this one, but I think I'll go on this one. I'm going to go on the bottom of the gem and come out through the other side. And make sure it's inside of the hole. See, it has to be right inside the hole of the gem. And make sure it comes out through the other side. There it goes. See the needle? It's coming out to the other side. This you have to be very careful that when it comes to working with the gen. See, I have a little bit glue in there. So, alright. You take your needle. And it came out through the other side. So you see it came out. The needle came out through the hole of the other side. Sorry. But it came out through this side. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go around. I'm going to sew right through the strap. There we go. This takes a lot of patience doing this. So I sew through the strap. There we go. You have to sew, make sure you sew through the strap for it could stay tight. Okay. So I sew through the strap. And now I'm going to do the next one, the next hole. You could do the bottom 2 times and 2 times on the top of the hole. But make sure when you put it in, you go back inside to your strap. Okay. Now I'm going to go through the strap. Through the strap. So I could get to this hole. Line it up straight, that your cross won't be crooked. Now I'm going to go through the hole. Sorry. I'm going to go through the hole right here. Right here's the hole. Right there. Make sure it comes out to the other side of the hole. It's got to be coming out to the other hole. There you go, just like that. Take it out, sorry about that. And you sew through the strap. We're going to sew through the strap. Here we go. Okay, fix up your cross. Make sure it's nice and straight and tighten it. This takes patience doing, but this one is secure in. This is very secure in. So now I have to do this hole. This hole. I did that hole, now I'm doing this hole. There we go. There. Okay. Okay. Just checking. So now I'm going to do this hole. Oh, I could do this hole again to secure it. I'm going to do this hole to secure it again. But I'm not going to go over. I'm going to go through the strap. Go. Now I'm gonna go through this hole, come out through the other side. Sorry about that. I know it's kind of hard, but came through the other side of the hole right there. Pull it out, the needle, and tighten it up and go through the strap. I'm going to go through the strap again, and this time when I go through the strap, I'm going to go back down. If I could go over here, so I'm going to go through the strap and there we go. Like that. Pull the needle. Okay. Went through the strap. I'm going to go back through the strap to go over here again. You get closer up. That goes across from the hole. Go sideways because that's the only way you'll be able to for the needle to go through. Oh, it broke. Alright, time to get another needle. It broke. Needle broke here. I'm going to tie it, make a knot out of it, and end it right there and get a new needle with some new thread. I'm going to give a couple of knots here, maybe like 4 knots, if it could be secure good. I want to make sure it's secure good, so that's why I would knot it like maybe knowing me, I would do probably 4 or 5, just so it could be knotted really good. There we go. Now I'm gonna cut it where I knotted at. Okay. Get a new needle. I mean a new needle, because mine's broke. As you can see, it will happen. Sometimes your needles break. My needle broke. As you can see, it broke. So get a new needle and make sure that the needle you get, it fits through the hole. Don't get it too big that it won't fit through the hole, because then you'll break the gen. Okay, so I'm gonna get a new needle, and then I'm gonna continue sewing. I already did this part, so you know what I did. I went through the hole, then I went through the strap, then I went back through the strap and went back through the hole, going across on each side. So do the same thing over here, and in the bottom, and in the bottom one. I'm gonna finish it off. Okay, so it could look, I'm gonna finish it off so it could look like this. All right. Okay, I finished. Tighten it up. It's nice and secure, nice and secure, nice and tight. It won't come out. Went through all the holes, every hole the gen has. I went through all of them and tie it. So, in doing this, I broke 2 needles. So this is why you have to have some good strong needles. These 2 needles broke. Just trying to get it through. This is what you go through, trying to design your flip-flops. So this is done. So the next, okay, now I'm going to put the bees in the bottom and then on the side. I wanted to show you that what I used to glue the stone and make a cross out of it. I used this plastic convent. You could buy this in the craft store or in Walmart. I cut a piece of that and I glued these onto it and let it dry using E6000, and I let it dry overnight. That's how I used it. Now I'm going to put the bees on the side. Alright, I'm going to start from the bottom. I already have 2 pieces cut out. These 2 pieces are even, which are going to be on both sides. 1 on each side. And now I'm going to do this. And the way I do this also is with not sewing. I'm just going to use the thread again. Put it in the middle. Then take, I want to make sure I have the right size. One is smaller. Take the necklace, which is really a necklace, but I cut it into little pieces. You'll find that in the dollar store. But you take the necklace and you take the thread and you hold it there. Try to hold it tight, and you go around maybe 3 times around. That's 2. And 3. Let me do another one. Here we go. Now you go down to the next one. And you go next to the next one. Follow along to the next one. Here we go. Trying to make sure it doesn't get tangled. So follow along to the next one. And go. Do 3 or 4, just to keep it strong, holding it strong. So I'll turn it this way. Alright, as you can see, I'm going to go to the next one right here. 1, 2, 3, and then go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, and this is the string here, still sticking out. I'll cut it later. But we're going to go to the end right here. So that's 1. Alright. Almost lost the wire. Here we go. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And this is where you have to get the clamp, because you're going to sew. You have to clamp it, and that you have to clamp it right there, because you're going to take the thread and you're going to get the needle and you're going to sew it into the flip-flop. So you cut it and you get the needle. Okay, and this is where we're going to do the sewing, is in the end, where it could really stay in there bound, secure. Alright, so going to sew right through here. Push the needle in. There we go. Just so we could secure it and it won't go nowhere. There we go. So now it won't go out of place. It won't get out of place. It'll stay nice and secure. And right here is where I have to sew the other part, the little diamond. Got the little diamond, and we're going to try to put it as close as I can up, because when this goes down, you don't want it to be attached to the end of your toes like I have here. Alright, so I'm gonna take the needle, the same needle, and I'm gonna go through the little diamond. It already has a hook on it. Have to even it out. So I'm going to sew it right through, going down. I'm gonna sew right here. Okay, so I'm gonna sew right that area. So I had to get the needle, the thread a little longer to sew that piece. All right, here we go. Because my thread was not really quite working right. All right, so we're gonna put it here. And then I'm going to sew it right back the other way. Oops, here we go again with the thread. All right, so I'm gonna sew it right back inside here. So I could sew it, I'm gonna sew it in, and then back this way, and then this way, and then back this way, until I sew it tight enough, secure, and make a knot of it. Okay? Alright, so get the needle in there, tighten it up. Alright. Okay. I have to tighten this out because this came out of the bee. It's supposed to be around the bee, and it didn't. Maybe I should just cut it. I'm just gonna cut that area, but it could just stay right here, be right there. All right. All right. I finished sewing it, so now I'm in the back, and I did a knot, and now I'm going to put the needle across to end it like this. That way I could finish it up. Okay. I have to make sure it doesn't get stuck. Alright, because it keeps getting stuck. Alright. Here we go. So, now I'm going to cut it. one more time. I'm going to go across, and then I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to finish putting the other one, the other two sides. Like that. I'm going to just do two, not one time, just two, and then I'm cutting it. Okay, take the scissors and cut it right there. All right, now I'm going to finish doing the other sides. Okay, the same way I did here. You wrap it with the wire, then at the end you take the needle with the wire, and then you tie it from the back. All right, let me finish up the rest. Okay, I started this side, so now I'm going to finish going around it a couple times, maybe like 3 times each, until I finish all the way to the bottom. Gonna finish it up, keep going around the bee, finish it up, pull it back down a little bit because it's going up too high. So finish it up and go to the next one. Here we go. And that's the last one. Since I end up in the bottom, I'm going to sew that area. I'm going to clamp it with the clamp and then sew it, and then sew the end of it, and then I'll finish the next one. Okay, now I'm going to put the needle in the end of the wire, and I'm going to remove the clamp, and that way I could tie this up, secure it real good. So I'm going to do it a couple times again, and I'm going to put the needle and go through the strap again, and so I could put a knot in the back. Make sure you hold on to the wire, that way it won't get out of place. All right, here we go. Okay, now it's nice and secure because the needle is nice and secure. All right, so I'm gonna knot it in the back, and then I'm gonna do the other one, and I'll see you in a while. All right, so this is the way it's supposed to look in the meantime. Okay, I finished doing the right side. Now I'm going to finish the left side, and then it's all done. And I already finished doing the bottom part, and then in the right side. Now I'm going to finish doing the left side, and then we're almost done. All right, I finished sewing both sides, and I made a knot in the back of it. So this is the way it's supposed to look, as you can see. Now I'm going to put this in the side, and I'm going to get the glue, and I'm going to take the flip flop, and I'm going to glue the diamond wrap around the flip flop. Okay, I reached to the top, to the end, smoothing it down, and I'm lining it up. So now that I reached to the end, I reached to the end, and I'm holding it down and I'm lining it up. I have just a little bit extra here, so I'm going to cut it with the scissors. Just this little tiny area, only one area that is, when it's always too much, you could always cut it, trim it. Okay, that way it could fit just right. Alright, this is just right. Alright, now I'm done in this area, and I'll check to see if have any open gap. And see if everything is all nice and in there. Alright, now I'm going to put the strap on. Okay, now I'm going to put the strap. Alright, so starting from the front, I'm going to push, I grab it like this, and I push in slowly. When I push in slowly, I'll just go right here and push it here. There we go. And that's one. Some people will put glue in here, but I didn't break it. That's if they broke it, but it's just fine. Okay. So you don't need really glue inside there. Okay, let me do the next one. Always push it in slowly. It'll go in. Then you turn it. Push it in and then turn it. There you go. So it can line up good. There we go. Now do the next one. Do the next one, which is going to be the last one. We're almost done here. There we go. And that's the last one. Okay. Alright, so I finished it up, and this is the way it's supposed to look. You could line up everything that's crooked, fix everything up. You know, but this is the way it's supposed to look. Okay, so I finish, and here goes the second one. So it's all done.